Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's Tabby time.
Cheers.
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 Oh! Okay.
We are here with City Scape Winery.
Hello.
Is your phone already ringing?
No, that wasn't my phone.
So every time, man. Every time. We have the spread.
The spread.
Thanks for coming.
All the wines.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So let's start at the beginning. How did you guys meet?
Okay.
Where are you from? And then how did you end up at City Scape Winery?
So we met at a small Christian college.
Okay.
Very conservative. So it's a very ironic.
Here in Greenville?
No. In
So not Bob
New York.
Jones?
No.
Not Bob Jones.
Not Bob Jones. We were actually scared of Bob Jones at my school. It's like, at least we're not Bob Jones. But not there.
Heard
But
they
another.
were extra strict.
You can't
we
drink at
heard
Bob
that they were.
Jones.
Yeah.
But not at our school either. We actually
That
met,
checks out. Yeah.
Yeah, we met at a little illegal party on campus, and we were drinking really.
Did the illegal party have a name? Was it like the Reckoning Day or something cool?
That'd be really cool, but no, it was just like a dumb little get together. But we had, so he brought you ever had the really nasty Carlo Rossi jug?
Oh yeah,
The jug.
The big
yeah.
giant jug.
port wine.
Because when you're
the port?
21 and you're like, man, I can get a whole gallon
Yeah.
of wine for $10. Like,
That's what my
So-
grandfather drank. Like every day, he had a jug of Carlo
And
Rossi.
that's disgusting.
Like he left like 8 a.m. retired. He's just drinking.
That's awesome.
Jug
Well, it was ironic because we didn't start off on a good foot because turns out Josh and I for 4 years, so we met senior year, for 4 years we shared a mailbox with each other because my last name is Jorgensen and his was Jones, but he never checked his mail, so I couldn't stand him, and I've been looking for Josh Jones for 4 years. For 4 years. So he introduced himself to me at the party, and I was like, listen, I really hate you. Like, I don't want anything.
This is a kickoff.
It's a really
So then
good
he was
start.
like, hey, do you want this wine? And I was like, totally. I'll have your wine. Let's drink.
Let's be
and
friends,
so
yeah.
I was like, only for that moment. But then after I tasted the Carlo Rossi, I was like, I think I should reconsider this friendship. But then Josh was like, hey, we're in wine country. We're in the Finger Lakes. He was like, let's explore if we like wine. And I was like, all right, cool. So that started our friendship.
yeah.
That really quickly became dating and
Yep.
then marriage.
And I'm sorry, Josh and Deb. I didn't
Yes.
actually introduce you by your name. I just said City Scape.
Yeah.
So you guys started dating immediately after that? Just kind of get like
Yeah.
It was pretty quick.
kind
And
of a
we
first date
We kind of
and-
went on this journey, and we went wine tasting around the Finger
Everywhere.
Lakes, and we are like, surely all wine can't be this bad, because otherwise
Oh,
nobody
not
would,
good.
nobody would
It
drink
was
it.
so bad.
And so
So we fell in love with the process. It was really fun. And we thought we would drive around, and I was like, someday I would love to own a winery when I'm 62. That'd be really fun. But my problem is being from New York, and I was born and raised in Brooklyn. I was like, listen, I don't know if I could do this because it's in the country, and I don't like the country. I'm really scared of the
goats
country.
and chickens and cows.
Man,
and stuff
I am
there.
so scared.
There's long
fact,
stretches of dark
Goats,
road.
goats scared me for a really long time. I have goats, but they scare me. They have sideways eyes.
Oh, yeah, they're nuts.
They're really creepy.
And I don't think they ever blink.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
They kind of
They
creep
just,
me out.
Stare
And they
into your
stare
soul.
at you. Yeah.
This is a quick plug-in. My cousin has a scar across his cheek because he
From
had
a goat?
a goat horn go through his cheek
Oh my gosh.
when he was a kid playing with it.
We had 2 goats that jumped over our fence when we first bought the winery and ate all our grapes. It was really bad. So we had to donate them to a goat rehabilitation center where they do goat yoga.
Oh, I thought you were talking about you had to donate the grapes.
No.
So,
No, they
so what year did you buy the winery?
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so
home winemakers.
home winemakers.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the next part of the story.
Yeah.
So you started dating. You explore. You.
Yeah, so Josh got an internship with BMW.
Okay.
And that brought us to Greenville.
Right.
And then I went into, I got my master's at USC. So that brought us to the area. But one day, actually, this is a good segue because we were bored on the couch one day. We were 23 years old and we were like, you know, this would be a really good time to figure out a hobby. Well, a lot of our friends were making beer, and we're like, we don't want to make beer because a lot of our friends make beer. We would need to make more friends. So, because we just got to, the area, and we're like, we have to make an alcohol. Like,
Because then our friends make better beer than us.
and it's just not
it's a whole
okay.
problem.
So, we couldn't do that. And then, distilling is too hard, and we just didn't want to get there.
illegal.
It's illegal. At your
Depending on
home.
who you ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one seems to understand that. I even had that conversation with an employee today. We were processing peaches, and he was like, we got talking about making liquor, and he was like, yeah, we can make liquor at home. And I was like, no, you can't. He goes, yeah, no, I thought you could make a gallon.
No, you can't.
No.
So
not
illegal.
one drop.
Like
Yeah.
really illegal.
Yeah.
200 gallons of wine and 200 gallons
So
of beer.
here's the
at
thing.
home, but
So we're sitting on the couch and we looked up YouTube, and YouTube's a great place if you ever want to learn how to make alcohol. We learned.
Between YouTube and ChatGPT, you can learn how to do anything. in the
I
world.
know. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
Well,
Wikipedia.
and
Can't leave
Wikipedia.
don't
Yeah.
leave the wikis out.
So
fact check
So
that.
it turns out that we need to get supplies to make wine. So that day we found this place. It was called City Scape Winery, and it was this small little like shack basically that was out in the country. So we're driving out, and I was like super scared about being shot.
And you guys live where
We live in Greenville.
We live
at
in
this
Greenville.
time?
Yeah.
And
So you're
at
from
that
Brooklyn
time.
and you're scared to get shot in the country.
I don't know. I'm scared of goats, and I was also scared of getting shot in the country. I don't know why.
More likely to get shot in Brooklyn, probably.
I don't know, but I told you about my story about the guy. Were you there?
No.
About the guy with the gun.
No, I missed this. Was this outside? Was
This is out. Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Okay. I missed that, yeah.
But
Were you
yeah.
not there? You were there.
I don't know. I was
Put a bookmark in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We have
bookmark
we
that.
had a
It's
neighbor.
a good story. It's a good story.
We had a neighbor who boom, 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 boom. Anyways, so where were we? So we went to this place, and luckily we didn't get shot, and we got there, and there was a sweet couple, older couple came in, and it was on a Saturday, by the way, and there was like 4 tables, and we're the only people there, and they taught us how to make our first batch of
Yeah.
wine.
So I bought 6 gallons of Merlot juice, the carboy, all the like setup, went home in our kitchen and just made a gigantic mess. And
Lots of explosions.
yeah. But
And it stains.
Oh, it does. We actually had to replace our hardwood floors because the wine like exploded in
Yeah.
our pantry, and we weren't home, so it just kind of sat and seeped into like in between the cracks on the hardwood, and it was like purple lining. It was.
Did
so
it at
bad.
least look good? Like you could have left it, or
No,
or
we
like
did.
oh,
We
we
actually-
intentionally did the wine.
No.
We did the floors this way.
So till this day, in our like cupboard, we still have wine stains all over the place,
Yeah.
and we keep it on purpose because it's artistic.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's part of it's. I mean,
it's our story. Yeah.
part of the
part of the
story.
story.
So, anyways, we made some wine, and
About-
it was okay. It was drinkable, and so we made.
3 months later, it was ready. And some of our friends, after the 3rd or 4th glass, they said it's actually decent.
It's okay. Yeah.
Once you get over the first couple glasses.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty, actually, it's pretty bad. Like, it's funny because we still have a lot left from like our old days. And we just, like, both of us, I mean, we pretty much it's our sangria wine, right? Because it's not like the best wine. But, anyways.
Learned a
Well,
lot.
I mean, the good thing about wine is as long as like different than beer, as long as it's not oxidized and it's sealed, I mean, it'll keep
Yep.
good for a long
Yeah.
time. You know,
Absolutely.
I mean, pending all those things.
Yeah.
What is the shelf life said to be?
of wine.
It depends on the
50
cork.
years?
Depends on the
it depends on the cork.
cork and the style.
Yeah,
So,
so there's-
most of our wines, I would say 3 to 5 years. We do have some reserve wines like this lovely Cabernet Sauvignon here that we do an archival grade cork. So those will last up to 10 years or so. And those are really meant more for aging. So
Yeah.
and that's aging in glass, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, there's always aging in stainless or barrel or
Yep. And we're aging it for a couple of years before it even gets
Yeah,
into
for
bottle.
sure.
So it's
And so, just from my experience, right, as many of our listeners, viewers know, I own a brewery. I've made wine a couple times.
Have you?
And it's been pretty good because it is right. Like I order the grape juice from wherever in the country, right? And they, 5 gallons, add some enzymes and whatever. And it's come out drinkable. Some of it's been good and some of it's been bad. But
Is that
I
the standard, the drinkable?
it's drinkable. I think the big difference in the two is like scaling up from 5 gallons of beer. Cheers.
Blackberry Merlot.
Yeah.
Scaling up from 5 gallons of beer to making 300 gallons. There's a lot of things that need to change. Is that kind of the same in the wine world? Like when you were making your 5-6 gallon batches at home and then you went in and started making however much you make now, did you have to scale different things differently to kind of dial stuff in?
Yeah. First few years when we went from making little 6 gallon batches at home to making, 60 gallon or, 160 gallon batches, a lot of changes. Yeah. Mainly around like temperature and how we were storing the wines as well. Because when you're in like a little 6 gallon glass carboy, if it's filled up to the top, you got no airspace, you're keeping oxygen away from it. It's, pretty easy. But when we bought the winery, they were doing everything in these kind of plastic fermenters, and plastic is not ideal for long-term storage.
For sure.
So let's
oxidation. And so
2015, what was the decision to buy the winery?
So-
This is smoky, by the way. This is
Yes,
good.
it's
cool?
so
It's
good.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
local blackberries in it.
And it's
Traveler's Rest.
Hungarian oak.
Calico Farms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Calico Farms.
I just made a beer with 60 gallons. Steve's.
Steve
Nice.
Salmon. He's the
Yeah,
best.
we're good friends,
yeah.
actually.
He's
He's
the
been with
man.
us
Yeah.
before.
Really good blackberries.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
He was actually with us prior with our previous owners.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So
yeah,
we've known
he's a
him
good
for
dude.
years. Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
So how did,
Okay.
how did
2015.
Small world.
So,
what were you guys doing at the time?
Yeah, so
Professionally, what made
I was in economic development, got my master's,
Okay.
and then he worked for Michelin as a mechanical engineer. We also owned Josh Jones Photography, so we were doing that. So 2015 rolled around. The previous owners, they were at this point mentoring us with winemaking, and we told them like, yeah, someday when we're old, we would love to own a winery, maybe, if I could get over my fears. So anyways, so they approached us in 2015 about buying the winery. And originally we said no. We said absolutely not. And again, and it was freaky too because they had the 6 goats and they would just like stare at us, and I was like, and I remember, and it was
intimidation
it was
factor.
so scary too because they actually propose this. They brought us out to the property and they were like, "Let's go on a goat walk. I want to talk to you." And I was so scared. And so we went.
They had no idea that.
They had no idea that I was so afraid of goats.
Yeah.
And like the goats have warmed up to me. I mean, this is year 7.
You guys still have the goats?
We still have the
We
same
do.
goats. The 2 of them, again, they're no longer with us, but we do have most of them. Yeah. So yeah, we had to go on this goat walk, and I was like,
Do you guys still go on goat walks?
No.
Occasionally.
Occasionally here and there, but
They're fun. They just follow you along, and
yeah, but they climb trees. Yeah,
they like try
They
to
eat
show
tires.
off.
They eat everything.
I know,
Right?
they're
Don't
so
they
scary.
eat anything?
poison ivy.
Yeah.
Everything.
So, anyways,
Do you lease your goats like so they can come clear some land at my house?
I mean, we could.
we have been asked.
You just bought a zero turn. You don't need a goat.
Oh yeah, we will.
You set up the temporary fence.
I could
and
return a
they
zero
go
turn
in.
and just
Yeah.
borrow the goats.
There you go.
So, anyways, after a lot of prayer and just consideration and just, we just felt like it was what we were supposed to do, and you go to that point in your life. And after a lot of prayer and thought process, and his dad came down, he's a financial consultant, and we were talking for a while, and he was like, guys, I just think you need to do this. And this is something that you've always wanted to do. And so...
Yeah, and you're 29 years old. When are you gonna? Who
Why not?
owns a winery at 29
Why
years old?
why not work for yourself though?
Exactly.
Yeah. So we were so scared, but we did it. So we quit our jobs, and because there's no way that you could continue this. I mean, we couldn't have 3 full-time jobs. So we kept the photography business, and then quit Michelin, and that was scary because that was all our benefits.
Yep. So pay out of pocket for health insurance. You guys know the struggle.
Oh yeah, we know Obamacare, baby.
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah.
But it was actually really cool because we So we paid off all our student loans, and we were just saving up for something, and so we paid off our house. So that happened right before we did those things. So we were set up well.
Yeah.
For it, but
still terrifying. Still
Yeah.
single
So
most terrifying thing we've ever done. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How were you? I mean, was it turnkey at the time? Or
No.
was it, you were far from the
it
vision?
was already like in operation, but in terms of where we wanted it to go, it wasn't anywhere close.
Not even close. So basically, it was like a
'Cause you guys
800 square foot facility, and they were making all their wine
In
in
like
a 3-car garage.
And then there was like a double wide trailer in the middle of that.
Sick.
We had
So you've
no
built everything
idea
with
what to
their
do
name.
Yeah,
with.
yeah, it was, and we've had that trailer for like 6 years. Like literally, we just donated that to a veterans association to build our new building.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So we've had it
And
for a while.
the new building's done?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
gorgeous.
Just
You have
finished
to come
like
see
a
it.
year ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
thought
really
it
pretty.
was.
Yeah,
About 11,000 square feet of brand
Yeah, we
new.
should go down there in the next
build up
week or two.
Yeah.
it's really cool. I think you'll like it.
Good time.
So as a production guy, again, we might get off topic.
Sure.
What's the winery production area kind of look like?
So-
Size of vessels, fermenters,
Yeah.
all that
So
kind of.
our,
Let's geek out on equipment
Yeah,
for a minute.
absolutely. I love
it's
that.
really cool.
So the building was purpose built. I actually hired a winemaking consultant who's helped start about 80 different wineries around the U.S. to kind of help me with the design, floor plan, layout. So it's a 2-story building. It doesn't look like it from the front because it's kind of built into a hillside. Because we wanted to take advantage of that natural humidity and cooling effect, because our cellar, we have a pretty large glycol chiller, and so we keep the cellar at 59 degrees year round. And so
Kind of have to, don't you?
well, it's
It's a cellar
you
in the
don't
basement, or is it
have
on
to.
the first floor? Like, is it
It's-
underground?
Yeah, so you walk into the front of the front of the building, and you're on the second floor.
Oh yeah, cool.
And then
cool.
you have to go downstairs
Sick.
underground. So it's about 6,500 square feet underground, really tall ceilings. We pulled 400 dump trucks worth of dirt off the site.
Wow.
To just build into this. So we have 13-foot ceilings in there, and then we have a 2-story tank room as well with 23-foot ceilings. And so we ordered all new tanks as a part of this too. Actually, had them custom
Slovenia, right?
from Slovenia.
Yeah.
So fancy.
What kind of tanks?
They're SK tanks. So they're like pharmaceutical grade polish inside, triple glycol jackets. They're 4,400 liters, so 1,200 gallons. I don't know how to convert that into barrels for you brewers out there, but
What's 1,200 divided by
16 feet tall,
31?
right? These
It's got to be like 100 barrels.
yeah, it's a good size. So
they're 16 feet tall, right?
yeah, they're 16 feet tall.
They're huge.
They're pretty.
Oh yeah,
big.
40. Yeah, 40 barrels.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep. So
Sweet.
pretty decent size.
Pretty nice size.
So you have 16 of those.
Yep.
Oh, 16.
16 of them.
Oh
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Are they open top? Are they
huge.
sealed?
I've got 2 that are variable capacity,
Yep.
open top. The rest are
Like
sealed.
Latinas or whatever
Yep.
they are? Yeah.
Yep. I have a lot of my smaller tanks are Latinas.
Oh yeah, sweet.
So I have a lot of like 2,000 liter Latinas that we used to use in our old building because we only had 9-foot ceilings over there.
Yeah.
And these guys were literally 3 inches from the ceiling.
And the rest are just like, are they conical fermenters or flat bottom?
they're conical.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep. And we have glycol hooked up to everything.
Yep.
Fully automatic temperature controllers, so we can set the.
I want a
Yeah.
full tour.
It's-
yeah.
it's-
We're
And
coming-
then
we're gonna
your
come out and see it.
cellar,
Yeah.
he has a barrel cellar, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like you have the we have a big wooden door that you open
Oh,
up,
cool.
and then all of a sudden it's like a super mystique
And it's like dark, like
dark,
Yeah.
and
black paint on the walls and the ceiling.
Oak barrels,
Yep.
all kinds.
barrels,
About 70 barrels in our program.
Where are you getting your oak from?
A couple different cooperages. One's Nadale.
Okay.
One's,
Yeah, I don't know that one.
A lot of them are more wine centric
Yep.
places.
What are you doing with your barrels?
We could talk later.
Yeah.
But yeah. We've definitely done some swaps with.
Yeah, sweet.
So we did a really cool swap recently with a rum distillery, and we
Yeah, out of
actually
Pendleton.
aged.
Oh, Swamp Fox?
Swamp Fox.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So we aged our pineapple Riesling in it. So it's a rum barrel aged pineapple Riesling.
And it
it's
is.
really,
And
really
then
cool.
see, then we could take
Unbelievable.
that and put a beer in it, and you can have a rum barrel aged pineapple Riesling
Riesling with a
beer.
beer. That would be sick.
See,
This is a little
Yeah.
off topic, but have you ever had Belvini Caribbean cast?
No.
Scotch.
No.
They age it.
Ooh.
They take their double oak and age it for 2 years in a rum cast.
Yeah.
You guys are
That
whiskey.
sounds good.
You guys are whiskey drinkers or Scotch drinkers. Check it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out.
So, how big is your team? I mean, you're
Yeah.
kind of the lead winemaker, as
Yep.
I interpret that.
An assistant.
Yep. So recently hired. So literally up until about 3 months ago, it was me and my father, and we made
So you and your-
all the wine.
And then you kind of run front of the house.
Yeah.
and
So
the-
my team is large. His
Operations.
team, operations is pretty big because we also have an event team as well, and we do a lot of events.
Do you guys cater too? Do the catering, the food?
So we have a kitchen. Yeah, we have
do
a
have a
kitchen, but we
commercial
don't do
kitchen.
a nice commercial kitchen. So yeah, we have I guess
you
a
can
restaurant.
sell glasses of wine. People
Yeah.
can come up there.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
not.
Yep.
To,
Yeah,
I
it's
know
a whole
beer laws
experience.
beer laws are trash.
So what?
So are
what
wine
we?
laws,
I would
unfortunately.
say like it's a destination. You could go there and hang out there for 4
Spend
hours.
a whole afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
Food trucks. You guys doing food
Yep.
trucks
Every single weekend.
Sweet,
Yeah.
sweet.
Music, food
Flights.
trucks. We have
Live
live music
music,
every
camping
single
with the
Friday.
goats.
Yeah,
Friday,
I mean
Sunday.
eventually. So
Oh.
actually, this is really funny. So we're zoned. We're
You and I
zoned.
would go do that,
But
though.
this
Oh,
is
yeah.
this is really weird because as you
pass out in
know,
the
I'm
goat
like
field.
really freaked out about these goats. But I came up with this idea, and actually, and it sounds like my worst nightmare, but I'm better with it. So we're zoned for 10 little rental cottages, and so we're gonna
like
put
tiny home kind of
yeah,
deals.
so we're gonna
Oh,
eventually
sweet.
do that, but we're gonna fill in because we have 6 acres of wooded
like-
areas that the goats live in, and so we're gonna fill it with mini goats, and we're gonna call it Goat Acres.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
Or do you do
So-
anything with the goats, like goat cheese? Like, are they just kind of keeping the property
No,
up?
they're and here's
We
the
don't
thing,
milk
like
them now.
the truth of the
That's
matter
like
is,
nonstop. Once you start,
okay,
like,
yeah.
Christmas
do-
morning, you're waking up and going and
So,
let the goats. Like
this
no.
is really random, but like, so I love the goats. They're fine, but they're not even the star of the winery. The star is we have a mascot, and his name is Pinot the pig. And Pinot is pretty cool. He sits, he jumps, he gives high five.
What? No, he does not.
Yes, he does.
You
And
got
he
a
used to go-
circus pig?
Yeah, and he used to go on 6-mile hikes with us. But then he got then he ate a lot of acorns and he got way too big, so we can't bring him to our house anymore.
He high fives.
He high fives like literally
High hoof.
like high hoof.
That's
I
crazy.
didn't. I never had a dog or like I wasn't an
But now
animal
you got a
person.
pig and
Yeah.
goats.
But look
Yeah.
at you. You just live on a farm now
I
with the goats and
developed.
Pretty much.
pigs. And
I
Yeah.
developed.
you guys don't live on the property, though, do you?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Do you like so in your process? Is there like spent must or anything? Like,
Yeah.
do you feed it to the pig and the goats?
and
like,
then,
or
then they like walk around sideways.
no,
for a
no, I
while
know there's
after.
like no. There, well, I guess in the beer process, there's no alcohol in.
Oh, there's
spent
alcohol.
grain.
Oh yeah.
And-
so in our reds, we'll ferment with the skins in contact.
okay.
They are.
I mean, Pinot's had
Alcoholic
it. Yeah,
after.
Pinot's been.
What do you? So what do you do with that? You just
So we actually
landfill
have,
it?
we compost it.
know
So we
what
have
we're
a
allowed to
compost
say.
pile and
Yeah.
we use it for fertilizer,
Whatever, yeah,
and it's
sweet.
awesome. It works really, really well.
No, but it is really funny. Okay, true story about Pinot. Pinot's been high and drunk accidentally. So, like, here, this is a true story.
Not at the same time.
And not at the same time, but this is true.
So what you're
trespass.
saying is you got a party pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. No, but it's really embarrassing. So what happened was, so he one time we had a customer who accidentally dropped her bottle of wine, and Pinot was like this big, and so he ran as fast as possible. He started slurping up the wine, and then he was like walking sideways, and I grabbed him, and I was like, Pinot, and so I had to sober him up with blueberries. So then my brother was at my house for Christmas, and he has a recreational activity that I don't always approve of, and he apparently smoked out of an apple. And
then gave it a Pinot.
well, he didn't give it to Pinot, but he thought his evidence, because he was hiding from me because I'm not like super excited about his hobby. And he grabbed, this was like years ago. So he grabbed the apple and he threw it in my backyard, and he thought, I don't know. I don't know what he was
Squirrel,
thinking.
Wait, do you travel with the pig? It's not just living at the winery.
Oh, yeah.
We
It
used to.
comes home.
We
and
brought
like,
it to the beach. No.
this pig getting down.
to party with
We
this
need-
He's
Yeah,
been to
but-
You should have
multiple
brought it
states.
there.
But now he doesn't go with us
Is he a
anymore.
free-range
He
pig?
ate way too much.
Free range. He's got about
he
half
has
acre.
he has a condo and he also has a cottage right at the winery.
Yeah.
Is there room
This
for
is
me
him
on
on
this
the-
winery?
Yes.
I mean,
This is him on the back of the
I'll
bottle.
sell my
right
house
here.
in
So-
Piedmont
You
today.
See little
And I'm
Pinot
gonna
We
live
back
just
there.
hang out
So-
with the pig.
in Pino's
no, but
cottage.
Pinot is
My wife would be mad that we live with a pig, but
Who did your?
Pinot-
Sorry, go ahead.
Pinot is a lot bigger. He used to be small and like, jump in there, but after year 6, he grew out of my house. So, and we had this is really funny. We had to get a forklift to lift Pinot in his crate onto my truck because he's like that big. He's like 200 pounds now, and I've been in denial about it. I'm like, no, he's only 100. I'm like, wait, he's like huge. He's so big, and so then we had to bring him to the vet, and so we literally had to forklift him to get him to the vet.
Oh my god!
So he doesn't go home with us anymore, but he did, and it was awesome. We're thinking about getting a new pig, naming him Prosecco.
So you like pigs, just not goats.
I love pigs.
So we're going to announce a drinking game for this episode. Every time
Okay.
we, and it's not for us, but for any listener, every time we say the word goat in this episode, because we've said it about 500 times.
There
We
we
should
go.
totally do that.
Yeah.
Who does your artwork?
go, 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 go,
So that
go,
was my
go, go,
sister.
go.
Goat. She's actually a graphic designer, and she owns a company in Austin, Texas, and she's very talented. She worked with lots of celebrities and notable people. Actually, she's really successful. So she does our artwork. She's done our website. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What's been like the hardest thing from start to where you are today, as far as was it the construction? Was it growing the wine production process? Was it figuring out distribution?
So-
Like what was?
Every season has its shares of hardships, right? I think in the beginning there was a lot of stigmas with South Carolina wine. South Carolina is known for sweet wine, and we were trying not to, bring in sweet wine. We wanted to do something a little different.
I was actually really concerned that this was going to be a glass of syrup,
Yeah, it's gross.
and
yeah.
I'm so thankful. It's not.
Yeah, we don't, it's fun. So the previous owners laughed at us when we were like, we want to, bring in Cabernet and some more serious wines. And they were like, yeah, no. In South Carolina, they're not going to fall for that. But truth is, they are right. That we do have to have a sweet product. So 50% of our wines are sweet, and 50% of our wines are more like the drier style, like the Viognier.
Yeah, so I'm sure the blush is like.
Actually dry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. I would drink it on a yacht. It's kind of that kind of wine.
Just not a regular boat though.
No,
No.
just
No,
yacht.
just yacht.
just
Just
yacht.
yacht.
Like a 70-footer or like 30-foot be okay.
30-foot would be adequate,
Okay.
but
I don't even know what house yacht.
We'll have to
I've
save
never-
that
How
for
do
I've
next
never
yachts
been.
come? Like, what do we?
I don't know.
But so it's the reason like a lot of sweet wines are here is because you like a Merlot grape won't grow here, and the sweet wines are mainly fruit wines. Like
It's also, from a production standpoint, it's easier and faster a lot of times to make a sweet wine because
Okay.
sweetness covers up a lot of faults, right?
yeah, so
And
it's like adding a bunch of stuff to beer,
Exactly.
or having
Or
a
you're
Pilsner.
like, hey, maybe these grapes didn't get quite as ripe as we would like. And so the acid level is really high on them.
Yeah.
How do we fix the high acid level?
Okay.
Great. Throw some sugar at it. Now it's balanced again. So we do a lot of work in our vineyards to really keep that acid level in check so we don't have to back sweeten with, a ton of sugar at the end
And
of
you
the day.
guys, you said you're on 6 acres,
Oh, 12.
12.
12 total.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The goats have 6.
Goats have 6.
Yeah.
So there's no farming acreage there besides goats. The building you said was 13,000 square foot.
11. Yeah.
11. So then, how many acres do you have like
Under
growing
Just two.
fruit?
Two acres.
Probably about 2.
Oh, okay.
So And we are planning on planting another vineyard. We have a
you
really
got 12
nice site.
acres, so
Yeah. Well, we're hoping to someday buy some more property so we can do more. But we do source from all over the United States, and these grapes will come in refrigerated trucks. So we do all the crushing, the pressing, the distemming,
you're getting
the
whole
sorting.
grape in.
Yeah.
We brought in 4 full tractor trailer loads of grapes.
And is there like a quality, so I know like fruit, like peaches and stuff, there's like a number 1, number 2, number 3, whether it's they pick it off the tree, it's on the ground, or it's animal consumption.
Yeah.
Is it kind of the same thing with grapes?
No, not really. Grapes that are grown in vineyards for winemaking are all kind of have a baseline level of quality. So
You
they
have to be able to.
So we give them certain specifications on what's the bricks, the sugar level we're looking for, what's the acid level we're looking for, and then they pick them at night, and then they, put them on a refrigerated truck. 4 or 5 days later, they're out here, and we get our crusher destemmer machine out and forklift and start dumping
wine.
Grapes. Yep.
And one day you're done. Wine's ready to bottle.
Yeah. It's a long process. Man.
Yeah. So you spend a whole day crushing.
Yeah.
And then pressing, collecting juice.
Once we're done with the fermentation, so we'll crush the grapes into these big bins called macro bins. You might be familiar with them, but and then we'll go in and we'll do what's called a punch down every twice a day on the red grapes, which is
you're smushing, you're crushing multiple, not just in one day.
Mm-hmm. And then you're pushing those grapes because during fermentation, right, you've got solids in there.
Yeah,
CO2 gas is being put out, and so the skins and the seeds and everything are floating up to the top. So we have to do what's called a punch down. So we have this big long handled tool that we go in and literally push the skins back down into the juice.
Takes 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, to do twice a day during that fermentation, which oxygenates the fermentation.
It's a good workout.
Gets those tannins going.
Yeah, and it that room is pretty unbearable when you're in it. You hardly could breathe.
It's a lot of CO2 gas.
Go on a yacht.
Yeah. Let's go on a yacht.
Yeah.
It's not cold,
yeah.
but
Crack it open.
It might be.
It's delicious.
We're not picky here.
Yeah.
It tastes
that's
like
Don't judge me on how to open this bottle. I'm gonna have to try.
No, there's actually no. I won't let you do it. There's a little tab
for Tabby hour.
Tabby.
I'm handing it right back to you.
Yep. Pull that little guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom.
Look at that.
Look at that. That was very nice.
Isn't that nice?
I would have just went right through.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a trowel run over here.
Sophisticated. So
yeah, that's nice. I love that. No foil cutter needed.
So let's say your fastest wine that you can produce from grape to glass.
Probably 3 or 4 months.
And then your longest.
About 2 to 3 years. So it's really that barrel aging process that just takes so long with a lot of the big bold reds. They just got to chill out and spend a bunch of time in a bottle. So
what's your favorite, each of yours favorite wine?
So my favorite wine that we've ever made, we don't have right now. It's called our Carmenere. We actually brought these grapes in from Chile.
Should we reschedule
and,
this?
I know we have to do.
Yeah,
we don't even have one in production. But it was unbelievable. We actually our crusher destemmer broke. So we had
that's a good one.
Hey, he's ready for the yacht.
I don't know if we said you're going to be on a yacht if you drink it, or you're going to feel like a yacht if you drink the whole bottle.
Yeah.
So
finish this off.
I'm just going for yacht.
Yeah.
If I start hallucinating and I drink a whole bottle of
see how you feel.
This blush, I might be on a yacht.
Yeah, you might be on a yacht.
Absolutely.
See what you think.
Pretty good. So that's our.
It smells very sweet, but it is not.
It's not.
Dry?
It's almost like a.
It tastes like a dry Starburst.
Okay, let me just dive in. Let me grab one of these since I'll get one in a second.
What is the? It almost tastes like a spritz.
Yeah, like an Aperol Spritz.
Yeah, like an Aperol Spritz.
Yeah,
like
which is also a really good yacht drink. So
Yeah, you called it.
It is not carbonated.
I mean, right?
But it does have
I don't
like this
often
nice,
find myself on a
bright,
yacht drinking
spritzy-
blushes, but
But I would drink that on a yacht
I
for
would,
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah. Probably
just
put
bought
like a
a,
lime or like a lemon on it, which is ice.
maybe some
You
vodka.
Could.
some fresh fruit.
What kind of grapes are these?
So this one's a blend of a whole bunch of stuff. So Riesling, Sauvignon Blanc are kind of the two front runners in this. 5% Petite Syrah, which is kind of where the color comes from in this.
Okay.
And then we've got a local grape called Lenoir that we grow in our upper vineyard. It's kind of a hybrid of Pinot Noir that we blend a little bit of this into
It is delicious.
it as well.
It really is good.
Thank you. Yeah.
So-
that one turned out nice.
My understanding of South Carolina wine was that it was like only muscadine, or do you guys even have a muscadine wine?
We do. We have our vineyards are muscadine.
Have to, right?
But actually,
Oh,
no, but
it's
we
kind
do
of an
it-
expectation.
This is really cool. So, so we do our muscadine dry, and it's really cool because someday, this is my dream. I'm telling you all my hopes and dreams with my along with going.
There it is. Drink.
We got dreams, fears,
I know.
yachts.
But someday, because
lot
I
of
had a
goats.
lot of stigmas towards Pelzer, but now like I love Pelzer. I think Pelzer is really cool. And it also it's funny too, because we're like on the border of Fountain Inn. And so for so long we're like, should we change our address to Fountain Inn? And I'm so glad we didn't, because Pelzer would make the best name for a sparkling wine, right?
Oh yeah, I
So
can see it.
let's
I can
go.
see it.
Let's go drink some Pelzer from Greenville, South Carolina, where they only make Pelzer
In Pelzer, South Carolina.
In Pelzer, South Carolina.
It's like the champagne, you know?
So how you could just change your address? How does that work?
I don't know, but
You can
I'm not
definitely
going
get
to.
rezoned, but
I'm
yeah.
not going to.
Yeah.
Rezone, I
We're
guess.
like
It's
right-
around the border,
we went
yeah.
through
Yeah,
rezoning.
we're right on
You
the border.
asked what's the hardest. Rezoning was probably the hardest season of my life. Rezoning. So imagine having neighbors that don't want you because they see this expansion coming in. And so
And you got acres. Your neighbor isn't.
Oh, no.
No.
They're a
To
half
your
a
right.
mile away.
no, but you're
Which is
putting
just
in
insane.
You're putting
Yeah.
in an 11,000 square foot facility. We probably host 1,200 people a week. So all these people are coming in, and so they're like, who are these people? And at that point, we didn't have parking, so all these people would come in and they would park all over the place, and then we would have music, and they're like, what the heck? And so we were telling them, hey, well, we're building this building, we're putting in parking for you so that we're no longer going to have these issues. We're going to have a facility that could accommodate music. You're not going to be able to hear the music. But at that point, they were just scared. I mean, I understand. I would be too.
This is a crusher of a wine.
Thank you so
Like,
much.
I'm gonna get in trouble because I
We
might drink
crushed
this whole
a whole bottle of
Like
that
this
on the
is
beach
it's just
yesterday,
nuts.
so-
Like
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I'm going to the beach in a month. Like I need a bottle. Like
You should.
I think
You should
anyone,
go to a
even if you
yacht.
don't like.
You need to get yourself
Maybe I'm
into
still.
a yacht.
I take
should
a case.
steal a
I'm gonna
yacht.
take a case. I'm gonna Jack Sparrow.
quickly.
I'm gonna upstate blush my way like Jack Sparrow to stealing a yacht.
There you go.
I'm gonna sail it into the port behind BMW and come get everyone.
Perfect.
You should totally do that.
Yeah, we just bought.
But I think anyone who doesn't like
5,000
wine,
bottles
this
of
is
that.
a great like intro. I'm not a
Absolutely.
big wine guy. I love some wine. I love having a nice
Yeah.
red with a steak. Don't care for the sweet stuff, and usually a blush is sweet or on the sweeter
Yeah.
side. And this has a very nice balance. It's a crusher.
Thank
It's
you.
good.
Thank you.
This is good too. This is not the.
Oh, I like it. Smoky. It's not what you would think.
Because
when you say-
I said,
if
I was
you had
so
a-
concerned it was going to be a bottle of syrup, and I'm like,
Yeah. No. And just
a
because you're
headache and-
using fruit in wine, everybody thinks, oh, we're using
Yeah,
blackberries,
sugar
we're
free,
using
yeah.
this. Doesn't mean you have to leave all the residual sugar in there. You can ferment it completely dry, and blackberry is really fascinating because when you ferment it dry, it almost takes on this smoky characteristic, right? And so that's what makes this wine so unique. We
So
have
you're not
people-
adding like smoked chips or anything. No.
No. This one
That's just character of
does
the-
do a couple months in oak,
Okay.
oak barrels, but not
Oh wow, that
a
was
lot of
very
that.
smoky. Like almost like like you add a liquid smoke, but not artificial, right?
Yeah. There's nothing. We don't add any liquid smoke or flavorings or anything like that.
No, that's sweet.
This is a bottle of syrup. Caramel delight. Yeah.
That's a bottle of port wine, actually. So that guy's up around
dessert wine.
16%.
Just looking at that bottle, I could tell that was a sweet one.
Caramel delight.
That's what mead
But,
and all that sweet come in.
I will say there's nothing against sweet wine. I mean, we do enjoy it.
Yeah.
We try to with our sweet wines, we try to make it balanced and done well. So we didn't bring any of ours today, like the cult favorites, like our raspberry white zin, our green apple. But we try to do it well, and it is true. There's a lot of people that do. There's a huge sweet market. It's really funny. So beer drinkers actually tend to be my sweet drinkers, which is it's true.
That's insane.
It's true.
I can see that.
So it's really funny
when they're starting out.
And it's really funny because I could tell you so many times we have people, guys would come to the winery and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not going to drink wine because I only drink beer." And the wife usually likes a big full-bodied red, and so they're drinking the full-bodied red. And so I'm like, "Listen, I bet you I could get you to drink."
Give blush right here. I mean,
I'll give them, actually, my stereotypical beer person loves green apple Gewürztraminer, which is like a sweet, light, fun, like well balanced, almost like a sour.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I got to look it up. So we went to the Biltmore recently for the first, and had the whole wine experience, and they had a German style wine.
Okay, it might be Gewürztraminer.
So
when you said the name, it was like very familiar because it was a very nice. I enjoyed it a lot when I
feel like the last 5 or 6 years for me has been more wine.
Say it one more time. Gewürztraminer.
Gewürztraminer. Yeah.
That's it.
Perfect.
Yep.
See,
So I just fit the stereotype.
You're a stereotype.
Dang.
Perfect.
No, and also we have German style wines in general, I would say, appease a lot of beer drinkers. One of the wines that we have, it's called a Müller Thurgau. We actually named it. It's kind of fitting. No, Müller 2 goats. Drink up. Müller 2 goats. Because we had 2 goats. I said this earlier, but we had 2 goats that jumped over the fence and ate way too many of our grapes. So we had to evict them, and they're in a goat rehabilitation center. But anyways, maybe doing goat yoga. I don't know. They might not exist. I don't know. But
sorry, I had to send my goat to rehab.
He's still there. I think they're there. But anyways, so it's fermented with elderberry flowers, and it tastes
little ginny.
Yeah,
little gin
it tastes like an IPA. This particular one, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool. So there is
wine PA.
a wine
And
PA.
what was that style?
It's German. It's Müller Thurgau is the name of the grape. But there is a lot of wines that could easily be. So if I find that we have beer drinkers or whiskey drinkers, my favorite thing in the world is to try to convert them. So so it's fun because we have wines that I think could be convertible. Gewürztraminer? No, I shouldn't.
It's been. I mean, I've been hanging out.
I guess you got to come there and have a bottle of it.
We're going to go soon. I've been hanging out with people that drink a lot of wine and that know a lot about wine.
Yeah.
And so
there's a lot of personality types within the wine world.
Starting to understanding
actually really funny.
But it's like, okay, it's a Pinot Noir, but it's from the Russian River Valley. So it's more like a Côte d'Aron. And so it's and understanding kind of because I think I like more of a full-bodied, I thought I liked a full-bodied red. Mm-hmm. But I thought I'd liked all cab. Mm-hmm. But then you start tasting other things. You're like, maybe I like the
maybe I like
maybe
this
I like the
or like this Malbec
is
from
anyone
Argentina.
Cicerone? Yeah. Is anyone a Cicerone certified level?
So really cool. And I'm really proud about this. We had 20 of our team members go through a sommelier training.
Sommelier, not
sommelier.
Cicero.
Yeah.
Cicerone's beer.
Cicerone's beer. But you learn a lot about beer in sommelier training. But I'm a certified sommelier, so is Josh. But
what level?
only level 1. But I'm working on level 2. 1 and
awesome,
2 of
though.
a different
That's
one.
so cool.
So
and we do have some level 3s that work for us.
That's
which is
that's insane.
Yeah.
I've watched those documentaries of like,
oh
you got to
gosh.
like name the grape, the vintage, the vineyard,
We have
like
blind taste,
Man.
what year,
and they're like,
We have the coolest
California
people.
32, row H, section 42. And it's like, what did they just say?
I have no idea. We have a level 3. And like, I have to say, we have the coolest team, like really cool people from all over the place. Spain. And
there's not many
Ecuador
wineries around here. And so we get to pick the best people, which is amazing. And we get
What's your closest other
winery? There's a few in the city. In the
Asheville?
like we love no. There's a really cute one in a really nice one in a few in Greenville.
Okay.
One
there's Lazy Bear.
There's Lazy Bear.
They do all like
Ira
fruit
Bennett.
based. Yep,
All
Ira's
fruit
great.
Ira's great. I met
Funny
him
story
when I
about
worked
Ira. He actually
Ira's
had
pretty
to
awesome.
approve our building plans for our
Yeah.
expansion
That's
when
what
we worked at
he
the
He was
county.
the best. Yeah.
It was like, get rid of this competitor right here. Deny.
Yeah. There's the winery.
He was great, though.
Winery.
There's Elevation,
Elevation, yeah.
9, which is like a small urban winery downtown Greenville.
Yeah. Wellborn.
Which that's actually how City Scape started. That's why
They're
we're called
really,
City
really
Scape.
cool people. I love them.
It was an urban winery.
It's they remind me so much of our previous owners, and it's like going there is just like a taste of home. They're really, really cool people.
That's awesome. And then there's a bunch: Asheville, Brevard, right, going
Yeah.
up the mountain,
Yeah.
the grade. There's a
St.
bunch.
Paul, Burnt Shirt.
Yeah.
Like there's a bunch up in Tryon area as well. But
I have a backwards question.
yeah.
What's the worst wine you've ever made that you've made and bottled and been like,
Oh my gosh, you remember the Cediobacter? This is a funny story. We never talked about this.
Actually, the worst one.
No, that
I
was
made-
the worst.
That was bad.
That was bad. I'll never forget. It was in 2016. We just bought the winery.
Oh, okay. So you're at the winery.
We
now, not
just bought
at
the
home.
winery. Our first disaster ever. He was like on the floor, like tearing up. He was like, I ruined everything. And like literally there's this bacteria that was starting to form in the wine, and it like turned into vinegar.
Because a lot of
Which is
people
like-
don't know, but like balsamic vinegar, basically you make wine and then you intentionally ruin it.
well,
and
so he and I went to
me being a new winemaker that made some
What do we got
mistakes
on that
early
side?
on.
What do we got down there? I'm skipping this caramel delight.
We got the,
he and I were at dinner the other night.
is fantastic.
And I made the comment of like, hey, because we were at the Peddler here in Greenville, and they come by. When you order a bottle, they always the corking and
Yeah.
I always thought it was just for
Good job. Look at that. You did
I
great.
thought it was just bullshit. Like, yeah, here, just
But I was like, no, he's like, would you have to really do that? I'm like, well, yeah, because the bottle might be off. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to pay for a bad bottle because once you say, yeah, that's good, then
It's yours. Yeah.
the guy knows more about, like, he's a chemist.
Yeah.
He knows so much about beer and liquor, but
Yeah.
wine, it's
Wine. So our pHs are like 3.1 to this one's at 3.4 right here. So fairly acidic. What are your beers generally at, like pH
so
wise?
So like
Drinking and technical stuff.
yeah, so we acidify the mash like down to 5.2,
Okay.
and then probably finishing in the 4s.
Okay.
Sour beers, and those are pretty dry. Like I think like our Pilsner is like a 4.2 finish.
a little taste.
Yeah.
And we're sour beers. We're trying to get 3.
Oh wow.
Get tart.
That is really yacht.
So
Right?
this one's my personal favorite white that we make there. It's a
You're
Viognier.
an amazing drinker, by the way.
Oh,
I'm like
thank
I second the nod.
super impressed by your drinking skills.
So I normally drink Miller High Life. It's my go-to.
Okay.
Got my heart and soul.
Yeah,
There
it's
you
like
go.
your water, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I don't prefer Aquafina. I like straight tap water.
Okay.
Greenville. Do you guys use water in your process at
I
all?
love Greenville's
We
water.
do, but not like you guys
Not like
do.
us, yeah.
No.
So
'cause
not like a 4-1,
But you-
5-1.
yeah, we're
you-
using grapes.
Okay,
You
yeah.
like
More
strip the
grapes.
water down and then
No,
make
just
it.
a charcoal filter. But
Yeah.
Greenville, this water here, I love unfiltered tap water.
It's great.
well,
It's just good
our water
water.
is like no other.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's-
it's amazing.
Very
That's fantastic.
neutral. Like,
We're actually we're not on public water out at our place, which was
are you on sewer or are you on septic?
we're on septic
Oh, in a well.
in a well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Our
Which is
cost
actually
was
great.
so fun.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, we
Yeah.
have no chlorine then in our water,
Yeah.
which is great because it can cause fermentation issues. I'm sure
sure.
you've run into that before, but it was definitely a challenge to put all that infrastructure in, especially for these size tanks
our zoning,
and everything. So.
To answer the question earlier, like our zoning was definitely the hardest, but also the building process was rough. I mean, think about like 2020, we started, 20,
oh man, that's
20,
really good too. You could drink this on a yacht.
We started construction during COVID.
Yeah, during COVID.
Oh my gosh.
And so the prices were like
So I was thinking it was like 2016 because you bought it in 2020. So it was 2020. That's a nightmare.
So 2021 we actually started building, and that it was a nightmare. And it was funny too. This is funny. So during COVID, actually, we did really well because if you think about it, we have 12 acres of like. That's fire. Isn't that great?
Thank you guys for not making syrup.
Yeah.
You're making real wine.
Thank you.
I'm embarrassed to say I haven't drank enough of your wine because I've always been afraid
it was syrup.
Yeah,
that's something we still have to deal with. That stereotype.
I've not fit two stereotypes. One, I like the kind of
and
then like that. I just thought this was all syrup the whole time.
No. Well, I think the previous owners, they were awesome, but they did make very sweet wine. Anita loved. They made a wine called Sweet Tea Wine. So that was. Don't say that.
Oh, sorry.
Edit that one out. But yeah,
terribly delicious.
Terribly delicious. No, but like we are not sweet wine drinkers, so it's really hard for us. But when we do make sweet wine, we want to make it well. So,
make it balanced.
Make it balanced.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are crushing it. I think like everything I've tried. I mean, I'm not going for caramel delight or whatever that one is. But everything's been delicious.
That's our Cabernet
I definitely can't wait to get out there and see the new facility. I'm disappointed I haven't made it out there yet.
Yeah, I'm going to apologize for that.
Yeah, and I mean, especially being down the road. Again, I fit that stereotype of thinking that you guys made sugar wine.
Sure.
But you guys are crushing it. Everything I've had is delicious. I can't wait to drink more.
It's
available everywhere?
Yeah, it's in 80 or 90
Total
stores.
Wine.
Yep, Total Wine, Fresh
Grocery
Market,
store,
Lowe's Foods, Peddler Steakhouse. I mean,
Was
a
it
lot
at the
of
Peddler?
A lot of places.
No, I could have had this.
A lot of they have
This
that
is
Blackberry
delicious.
Merlot.
As we close out, what's next?
Man.
So actually, what's next? So yes, so we're doing the cottages like I talked about. We would like to get further into our food offerings, but I think for us personally, what's next is just really traveling a lot and taking some time to focus on our business.
Rebalance personal and business life. Yeah,
I mean,
great.
last year we went from 20 employees to 47, like very quickly. We grew tremendously. Our business grew volume, like 60%.
Oh, wow.
When we started the winery, we were doing 15,000 bottles. This past year, we did over 100,000 bottles.
Ooh, congratulations. That's awesome.
It's been awesome, but exhausting. And we have a 2-year-old produced in the vineyard during 2020. True story. Embarrassing, but true story.
That's awesome.
As
long as it wasn't birthed in the vineyard, right?
No, it wasn't birth. Although I did do a tasting up until I gave birth.
Wow.
Like literally I was doing a tasting and then all of a sudden I went into labor like 3 hours later. Yeah.
Yep.
But
it's crazy.
Yeah. So what's next is we're just taking that time. We're going to go to Spain soon in the next 2 months, visit Rioja, go back into, decide making really good decisions for our business. Cause I mean, that's how we start with the building. That's what we did. We traveled a lot and then we came up with really good ideas. And I think we need to rebalance, re-inspire, and also to be able to give back to our team members. And we don't want to be burnt out as leaders. So that's what we're working on right now is
Well, we're excited for what the future holds.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Awesome. This was a blast.
Look forward to hopefully a future collaboration with the brewery.
Yes.
Maybe with Tabbi.
Love that.
Yes.
Cheers.